Hello, everyone. Good evening. Thank you for joining us, the Astronomical Society of Penang, this evening. Every month, we invite individuals who have something to share about astronomy to our Astro Chat series for an astronomically themed chat and sharing. And the goal is for us all to learn and get inspiration from these individuals who have attained some achievements in astronomy. And for this month, we are honored and proud to have a very unique guest. Astro artist Nurul Syahirah, Nurul Syahirah Binti Nazarudin, or more popularly known as Syahirah Stargazer. Welcome, Syahirah. Thank you for joining us this evening. It is truly our honor. Okay, and
Hi! Hi,
yep,
everyone. Thank you so much, Derek, for the
yes, thank you.
introduction.
Thank you for joining. Yes. So before we begin, the honors are piling up for you. So just like to say congratulations on behalf of everyone on being named the International Dark Sky Association's monthly star for August. Right? I'm sure
Yes.
that people who follow your Facebook page just got the very good news today. So congratulations. Yeah. So
Thank you so much.
yes. So I understand that what we're like for this series is we just want to have a chat about astronomy and let you share your experiences. So I understand that you do have a presentation for us to look at. So I think that let's start with your presentation, Shahira. And
Oh,
we're just
oh my God. Okay, okay. That,
it's better.
that'll be great.
Yeah. I think it's easier, and then we can just go into the topic, and then we'll ask questions back and forth a little bit. And to all those viewers, as the as the show is going on, if you have any questions, feel free to post them in the comments section below. And without further ado, let us have a listen to your presentation, Shahira. Okay.
All right. So thank you
Okay.
very much, Derek, for having me here, and also for Astronomical Society of Penang for inviting me as one of the speaker for tonight. So as all of you know, that I'll be talking about astronomy and arts, and the connection between human astronomy and arts. And I'll also be talking about my arts as well. So if I'm talking too much, you should remind me.
Oh, it's okay. Yeah, I think that what's most important is you're an astro artist, right? I think that is what we all want to let the audience know. So, I mean, there are so many astrophotographers out there. Everyone's taking a photo with a digital camera, but you take a photo with your hand and brush.
Yes. So that's what people back then have been doing before the existence of photography. The only way to depict the night sky is through paintings and drawings. And I think I am kind of going back in time, but it's okay. Art is evergreen. It's relatable to everyone across for millennia into the future. So that's why it's not something different actually. Astronomy and art is not something different. It's actually something very common, especially back then. But as human invented gadgets and technological advancement to record the objects in the night sky more precisely, we kind of losing touch to what the power of our imaginations and our creative skill. And that's what I'm going to talk about tonight. So I'm going to tell a bit about myself. So I'm an space artist, what would you call an astronomical artist of International Association of Astronomical Artists. I am also a dark sky advocate of Dark Sky Malaysia and also International Dark Sky Association. So things that I've been doing is mainly education and for a little bit of contribution to astronomy and also dark sky protection.
Yes. So yeah, that's I think that's something that's very interesting. And like last month we interviewed Dark Sky Malaysia. You are part of their team as well.
Yes.
So I think that today is a great continuation from last month. in terms of understanding more about not only dark sky protection, also connected to. So I'm gonna let you go ahead and present your presentation here. Okay.
All right. Thank you, Derek. So I hope everyone can see my presentation. So the title for tonight is Connecting the Cosmos Through Arts. All right, astronomy and the night sky. So we know that astronomy is an intensely visual subject. So when we look at the night sky, we're using our eyes. So that's for people back then, eyes are an important tool, important organ for them to look at the night sky and learn about what's up there. It is an essential knowledge for navigation and timekeeping. So by looking at the stars, the movement of the celestial objects, humans are able to navigate themselves and um, determine time to survive across the fabric of space and time. Night sky also is a source of inspirations and technological advancements. As we can see over time, humans they invent um, creative tools really to measure the objects in the night sky as well as to look at them. Like how Galileo Galilei he invented his own telescope. It's not the first telescope, but he invented his own to look up at the night sky, to look up at the objects, and discovered Jupiter's Galilean moon and also the ring of Saturn. So we can see that um, the night sky back then, before the existence of artificial light at night, this night sky is this dominant presence for humans. And when the night comes, all they can stare at is at the night sky, the stars, the planets, the Milky Way. So that dominant presence at night give them ideas, evoke creative thinking and imaginations. And that's why I said it is a source of inspirations because that's what they can look at the night in during at night. Sorry, a bit nervous here.
Yeah. No. Don't worry. Don't worry. I think it is very very interesting. I'm very fascinated.
Thank you,
Yes. Yes. Let's go. Just talk.
thank you, Derek. All right, so I don't want to make it like a presentation. I want to make it like we're talking. Okay, Derek.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Sure. Sure. Let's do that. So
Awesome.
yeah. Yeah. I'll let you continue, and then I'll ask questions back and forth. Then let's do that. Yes.
That'll be great.
Okay.
So now art. Art is an expression of human skills and imaginations. As we know back then, even before humans learned to write, they already made this beautiful paintings, cave paintings, to represent the night sky, the objects that they can see in the night sky. So when they look up at the night sky, the stars, humans they started to imagine the patterns. We as humans we have this ability to recognize, to see patterns, to relate the patterns we see in the night sky to something familiar around us. So that's what makes constellation exist because we are relating our surrounding and also the stories that we created in our head into the night sky. We project those stories, those things around us into the night sky.
So
Um,
so there's some kind of intimate interconnection between astronomy, art, and astroarchaeology as well in this sense, right?
yes,
Yes.
correct.
Because,
So
yeah.
when you are learning about astronomy and art, you have to touch on archaeoastronomy and ethnoastronomy as well, because each ethnics they have their own stories, they have their own depictions of the constellations, thus creating this a lot of arts regarding those constellations, which are different. from each ethnics. And it is when they're making arts, of course, humans, they like to mark their existence. They like to tell people that I exist, I was here. That's why graffiti exists, right? So it is art is a form of imprints of our existence, and these arts, they hold knowledge, connection, and emotional power. So even though people back then, we can no longer talk to them, we can no longer communicate or ask them why they're making these arts, these cave paintings of the constellations. We can't talk to them, but they have delivered their knowledge through these works of art, not just cave paintings. People back then, they have a lot of ways to express their knowledge, and also to trace the movement of the night sky through artistic works, which I will talk about later, how they did it. Okay. um, so we can still connect with our ancestors through the paintings, through the arts, which arts transcend beyond language and beyond time. The significance of astronomy in those arts can be understood by people in the present into the future, even though the true meaning of those arts have lost. We don't really know why are they making those cave paintings, why are they building these monuments. It is related to the movement of the sky, but I don't know why it's truly that. We don't know that, but we can see the significance through the alignments of those artistic works to the sky.
Yes. Yeah, it's truly like a I I I think what you say is very inspiring because we all do want to leave an imprint, and what better way than to kind of like leave a drawing and say, or as a lot of people do, who so and so was here, and but over here they are like, this is my observation of the night sky, right? Yes.
Yeah, I like how you put it that way, Derek. Just now, you said, "What better way for people back then to deliver the knowledge, to express their passion towards the night sky, uh, other than physical representation?" So, art is the physical representation of their knowledge of the night sky, not just the night sky, the sky in general. In astronomy, we have daytime and nighttime astronomy, right?
Yes, yes, that's true. So yeah, I mean, like it's always interesting. It fascinates me. Like, why are there constellations in the sky? Sometimes we look at, let's say, Taurus, and then Orion, and you just wonder why is that artwork like that up there? Why is there a bull and a guy? And then there's a dog,
Yeah.
rabbit, and then there's a river. It's like okay, that like it's like a painting in the sky itself. Yeah, and I think that it probably really tells a story about how people think back then. So I think that that's kind of what you're trying to explain to all of us, that this art is kind of the connection between our humanity and our surroundings, right?
Yes.
Okay. Oh, that's
When
very
you
nice.
are looking at those paintings, or those works of art, like monuments or cave paintings or pictograph, a petroglyph, you must look at the surrounding as well, because for ancient people back then, the sky, their perspective, uh, um, they cannot see it in exactly in 3D. They look at it in 2D. Like the
Mm,
sky and the scenery on Earth is connected. So you have to look at that way. So you have to relate those arts and the scenery, and the landscape, as well as the night sky, as well as the sky. Sorry, as well as the sky. So you have to put yourself into the perspective of people back then when they look at their surrounding in making those arts.
yes. So it's like a holistic thing. Yeah,
Yes.
we cannot just look at it from one angle. Yeah, it's science, it's culture, it's I don't know, history, the socio-economic status of the person that did the drawing. Yeah, there's so many things, right? Yeah, very interesting, I think, this connection.
Yeah, whenever
So,
I read about that, I feel like, wow, it makes sense. You can't just look at the work of arts on its own. You can't just look at the um, cave paintings on its own, because there's a reason why caves are chosen, because the cave gives this feeling of being encapsulated. And we can say that the caves are the ancient planetarium for people back then, for the ancient people.
so you're imagining like the ancient caveman father drawing the stars on the wall and teaching the kids maybe something, or telling the story like by a fire, right? Then sketching and just wow, what's this, and suddenly this happened and that happened and boom, and god of thunder, god of something.
Yeah, it's like,
Yeah,
yeah, telling stories and also passing the
that's
knowledge as well.
so actually Emma has your buddy Emma.
Whoa, hi, Emma.
Yeah, is there a difference between the ancient arts and the modern arts now? Is that, will you be answering that in your slides? So she asked, is
um,
there a difference between ancient art and modern art?
Based on what I know, yes, there is a difference, but the the significance of astronomy in arts, I can say it's pretty much the same from people back then and people right now. It's to express their passion in astronomy and to make physical representation. So people back then, they make arts because they don't have the sophisticated tools to record what in the night sky. Um, like right now we have the technology like cameras, astrophotographers. They are very skilled at capturing the night sky, and those pictures are records of how the sky looks like at that time, at that place. And every astrophotographers, they will take different pictures. You can never see one picture the same like the other, because the time is different, the place taken is different. So every each of the photography taken is unique, and that itself, I must say, it's a work of art as well, because the astrophotographers also put their efforts to editing, taking out the data, making it more pop out for people to see what's actually there. Because
Yes.
you have to edit the pictures. You can't just take the picture and not edit it, because a lot of data haven't been taken out for people to see.
Yes, and I think that it there, I think you're bringing up such an interesting point, because there's a actually an intersection here between the science of astronomy and the art, right? Because now you also add the emotion of the photographer. Like if the photographer is, in a very happy mood, then they would compose a photo a certain way to kind of like you can see, okay, this photographer looks like he was happy when he's taking a photo, okay, or maybe the astrophotographer was kind of like just going out to take astrophotos after like some unfortunate event or something, like just to feel better about him or herself, and you'll probably be able to see it in the photo as well.
Yeah,
It's-
um, because like I said, art is application of human skills.
Mhm.
As an artist, in my opinion, like a lot of artists have their own opinion about definition of arts. Some people, they're like, photography is not art, it's just you're taking picture, you're not creating something. But for me as an artist, my perspective, photography is a form of art, and it is unique from one photographer to another. So I can say that it is a form of art. But because yeah, everyone has their own way of editing, right? Emma has her own way of editing her astrophotography shots, and William has his own. Michael has his own way. Derek, you also has your own way. So
Yes.
we are looking at, because if we feel like, oh, everyone has already taken this picture, mine won't be special. No, it's not the same, and it will be different from one person to another.
Yes.
Yeah, so
Okay.
there are two categories of arts, which
Yeah.
is fine
Okay.
arts and applied arts. And fine arts is arts that is created for the purpose of aesthetic and using freehand, like I'm doing. It is called fine arts, because look at the picture, admire the this shot of Mystic Mountain of Carina Nebula, for example, right? I admire it. I love the colors, so I want to depict it in form of art in my own style and using freehand. So those are fine arts. Meanwhile, applied arts are arts created using precision measurements. Mainly, what we can see nowadays are architectures. But for me, astronomical arts, they are the combination of both fine arts and applied arts. Especially when you look at the cartography of the sky, made by people back then. Starting from 1605 is the golden age of cartography. So you can look at those. You can appreciate uh, the sky map as well as the arts depicted in night sky. I can show you the book now. Emma has this book. All right, this book actually is a compilation of celestial arts made by cartographers, starting from 1590 something. So that's around 1605. Those That's the age, or the golden age of cartography, the celestial cartography. So you can see a lot of beautiful arts depicted in the sky map. And some of the cartographers, they emphasize more on aesthetic compared to precision. But that doesn't mean that it is not applicable, not can't be used. People back then, they use this sky map, these cartographies, to navigate themselves across space and time. And it is important for them to make it look beautiful, because humans, they love beautiful things. We are attracted to beautiful things. And as an artist myself, I like to draw beautiful stuff, uh, for this aesthetic, to appreciate the beauty. So by making those sky maps beautiful, artistic, they will feel it's something they would look at every day to navigate themselves. So that's why these cartographers, they don't just have astronomy knowledge; they also have artistic skills. So we can see that back then, astronomy and artists work together, or the astronomer become artist himself to record, to depict their observations in form of arts.
Okay. Are there any like I forget the name of all these cartographers.
Oh yeah, we have Peter Appian, we have John Bayer.
John
We have,
Bayer,
yes, John Bayer is famous. Pretty sure everyone knows his name.
because
And
I think he has a star catalog, was it?
yes, yes,
Yeah.
yes, the star catalog and the numbering.
Was it the SAO catalog or something? Was it by Bayer or?
I think because he numbered uh, correct
Yeah.
me
Yeah.
if I'm wrong. He numbered the stars using the Greek letters.
Ah, here's the one. Yeah, he's the guy.
Yes,
Okay, Alpha
yes,
Beta. Okay. Okay.
yes.
Yeah. Okay.
And then
I'm
we
learning back.
have uh, you have to learn back about history in astronomy. These people, they're significant, right?
Yes.
They're also artists. That's what, for me, that's what drives me to learn more about them. and not just about the night sky, about the constellations, but also the people behind those constellations. Uh, and
Yes.
also we have Johann Hevelius. I'm sorry, Johann Hevelius, because he's a German man, but people back then, okay, people back then, they have the habit of, they have the trend, okay, of changing their name into Latin because it sounds more like cool, sophisticated. So that's why
Okay.
when I listen to his, Johann Hevelius, he's a German, but it sounds Latin. I was kind of confused at first. Oh, people back then just like to do that.
Okay.
um,
Interesting.
from Johann Hevelius, he is also he made topography of moon surface. So he's the first
Oh,
person to make topography of the moon based on
okay.
his observations, and also his artworks, which I will talk about after this.
Okay. Okay. Yes.
So this is what I'm talking about from La Choquette, France. It's a prehistoric painting of the constellations. Um, so this one is a part in the cave which is called Hall of the Bulls. So you can see here. Okay, Derek, when you look at this picture, what is significant here? I'm
Uh,
sorry, it's small.
bulls. I see bulls running, but then one running backwards. Is it a baby bull? And then there
Yeah.
looks like sun up there or something like that. Is that Taurus or?
See, see, it is, the message in this painting is significant. Even when you look at it, I'm sure you look at it. You're looking at it first time. Is this your
Yeah.
first time looking at this?
Well, probably long ago I might have. It looks familiar, but I cannot recall what was it about and things like that. Yeah.
Okay, so even though you forgot about it, the message, the knowledge that is delivered through this painting is still significant. You look at, yes, you it is actually Taurus. This one is the Hyades cluster, and near Hyades, this one is actually Pleiades.
Okay.
Um, it is as I read from this research by France ethno astronomer, I forgot his name, but he make a research about this painting, and wrote that this is the Hyades cluster and displayed it. So just, oh wow, makes sense.
Interesting. So Orion wasn't in there,
No, Orion wasn't in here.
but then there's that like, but there are four stars. Like on the bottom. Yeah, right where your cursor
Yeah, this
is.
one, right? Yeah.
Is that the belt of Orion? But there are four stars. I mean, but
Yeah.
if you look at the belt stars, it's actually, yeah. I mean, three stars are very prominent, but look
Yep.
carefully beside the belt stars. There's like some dimmer stars. So yeah, it's
Yeah,
interesting.
so people back then, they look at the night sky like different from us. It's darker, and they might see something more than what we can see today, right? And they're depicting it based on their observation. So this might be Orion. I don't know. Maybe.
Oh, okay. Huh.
All right, so this one I'm talking about. This is the cartographies. This is by Frederick Dewitt. He's a Netherlands cartographers. And when you look at this piece of art, you can see that it is both astronomical and also artistic, because by looking at it, even though you don't know they're actually represent the constellations, by looking at the arts, you know that it is. What else would it be, right? You look at the sphere and also the animals represented. Um, I'm pretty sure everyone would already recognize that this is map of the night sky.
Yes, I see the big bear. I see Draco. I see. Yeah, yeah. Everyone. Frederick de Witt. Okay, Netherlands Catholic. cartographer. Yeah, okay, very interesting. Hydra, Morpheus. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Nice.
I love to look at these sky map, the cartographies from 1605, because they're beautiful. They're so well made, artistic, and they're made with, actually they're made, a lot of them made with copper plates, so people can keep on, we can see that reprinting it and use watercolor, some sort of watercolor, to color them, so they can keep doing it, keep making copies of it, so everyone can have those. And I've seen the process of making art on copper plates. They're very unique, and I would love to try it myself in the future and make my own star map. That would be
Wow.
epic.
Yeah,
I'm looking into it. It's very interesting.
we'll definitely look forward to that. I think that'll be pretty fantastic.
Yeah, by using not just the medium that I'm currently using right now, watercolor, acrylic, um, digital painting, but also using other mediums such as copper plates, so I can make printing of my arts. Maybe yes, in traditional way, not in a modernized way. It'll be a lot of work, but I love to keep the aesthetic and also the historical value, but through using my own style of arts in depicting those constellations, those celestial objects. That'll be interesting. Oh,
Yes, definitely. Yes. Star map with Shahira's touch. That's that. Emma just commented that.
yeah. Yes, Emma. Let's hope that I'll make that in the future. So there are a lot of role of arts in astronomy, and the first one I would love to emphasize is on visualizing sky phenomenon, because back then we don't have. I keep saying this. We don't have cameras, so the only way to depict the phenomenon for people in the present like us to see what happened back then, how does the sky looks like back then, is through arts. And this one is the meteor of 1860 by Frederick Edwin Church. So he was walking to the place where he studies, and he noticed this bright fireballs with debris following behind the meteor, and it was so bright it illuminated the lake. So he was
Mm,
thinking about making this painting, and in the same time, at another place in New York, a poet wrote a poem about this meteor. And after 100 years, people connect this poem and this painting, this one, and it is actually the same. They look at the same thing.
wow,
Ha,
that's cool.
yeah, that's so cool. A poem is also a form of art. I also love to write poems, especially related to astronomy. I love to relate human emotions with astronomical phenomenon, or maybe astrophysics or cosmology, because I read a lot. I read a lot of astrophysics and cosmology, but I don't know how to express my knowledge. I don't know how, because I'm not a lecturer, or I didn't study those field of knowledge. So what can I do to express this knowledge? It's inside me. I really want to tell people that I know this and I want to relate it with my emotions I'm feeling right now. So I translate it into poems.
That's interesting too. Yeah, there'll be a Shahira astronomy poet in the future, is it?
Don't worry, it's actually already here. It's already, I already made a compilation of the poems, but
Wow,
I didn't really post it because I'm kind of shy. But if all of you really want to see it, you can go to my website, canvas2cosmos.com. You can see
that's
collection of poems there. Canvas2cosmos.com.
canvas2.com.
Cosmos.
Okay, I'm just gonna post it on the chat. But I actually did see an excerpt of your poem on the IDA interview. It
Oh
was
yeah,
about
yes.
that Milky Way photo. Yeah, so
Yep.
I did my homework.
Wow, thank you so much for reading that blog post from
Yes,
IDA,
it's
Derek.
actually very interesting and inspiring. So yes, It's- but it's a lot of good information.
Yeah.
Yes.
And
So yeah. I think
is there
I think that I mean it's all art, right? Words, pictures, and you know, for someone, I mean, for me, when I'm talking to you, I feel like you are a genuine artist who just want to find different ways to express yourself. Yeah, and so as you say, like we manifest nature with equations. At least me, I'm like equations. So I'm an engineer, a little bit of a scientist. So yeah, we look at equations and then we just forget that, hey, sit back and enjoy the beauty of it. And I think that that's kind of why artists are so important in society.
yeah, I think that astronomy and art cannot be, pushed to the side,
Yes.
because it is very significant in advancement of science. You need artists to depict um, environment of a different planet that we cannot see in other star system. We need artists to depict the black hole that we cannot yet see, because all of those imagery, those visualization will help scientists to play with their to play with their data that they have. It'll be amazing to have visualization
Yes.
of the knowledge that you retrieve.
Yes.
And
Yeah, I mean, going along the lines of what you're saying, there's even exercise in not even visualization, but maybe I'll invent a word here. It's been invented, audialization, meaning that there's a picture, it represents different colors, and the color blue has a higher frequency than the color red. And when there's a color blue, there's a higher frequency sound, color red, lower frequency sound, and they create a music. Maybe it's called harmonization or something like that. It's
yes,
totally fascinating. It's like, okay, this is the way for blind people to appreciate the cosmos, right? So that was something that was interesting that I came across. Yeah, but then back to what you are talking about is, now how do we represent the cosmos uh, other than just equation?
so
Right.
interesting thing just now you said, Derek. You said that translating the colors and the data of the astronomical objects into music. We actually have an astro musician. Emma, I think she knows him. What's his name again? The astro musician from IDA. He create music using astronomical knowledge and data. It's very interesting, and I listened to his talk last year during a conference by IDA. Yeah, it's there are people like that. There are artists who's waiting to express themselves, express the knowledge that they have in the most creative way. And for me, every day is like a surprise whenever I discover, even though it's from back then, discovered new artists that express themselves and also their passion in astronomy in their own ways, in creative ways. It's a surprise for me. And even though, like, it's from back then, it's still something new from me, and I can still learn from this artist. And if we look at the present, how the arts have evolved, our knowledge evolved, so as our arts, which makes it so interesting to look at.
Yes, yes, most certainly. Yes, and I think that one of the most
creative ways.
prolific
It's a surprise for me. And
artist slash
even though,
scientist you
like,
represented right here, right?
it's
Leonardo da
from back
Vinci.
then, it's
Yes.
still
Yeah.
so
Something new
he
for me,
is
and I can
actually a
still
polymath.
learn
He
from
is
this
not
artist.
he doesn't dwell only in astronomy. He's an artist, he's a mathematician, he's an engineer. He's doing a lot of things. So one of the things that he illustrated in his book, Codex Leicester, is an observation of earth shine. So as you can see here, the dark part, this slightly darker part is the light casted um, by the earth and reflected back on the moon. So that part is not entirely dark. You can still see the surface of the moon uh, as it illuminated softly by earth light that time. And as we can see here, the lighter part, this is a very good use of lines and contrast. It's not too contrast, it's soft. Okay, so you can see here it is depicted in soft light, and this one is brighter because it is slightly illuminated by the sun. So you can see the difference of lighting here, which is this part is illuminated by the earth, and this brighter part illuminated by the sun. And also,
Interesting.
arts. We also have actually Galileo Galilei. He produced a
Oh, yeah.
pamphlet, which is called. Ah, why do I always forget? Oh no. Okay, let me look for a while.
Galileo Galilei.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
produced this pamphlet. I always talk about that, but whenever I'm in talks, I get so nervous, and everything is just poof.
No worries. I mean, he did show the got in trouble by showing the church the moons of Jupiter. And said
Yeah,
that, okay, the
so we need
sun.
to highlight him.
Yeah, yes. The Earth is not the center of the universe,
Stella
and
Messenger. Stella
yeah.
Messenger.
Very
Oh my
messenger.
god, that
Yes.
one. That one is so significant because it
Yeah.
recorded his observation of Jupiter's moon and also ring of Saturn and also the moon's surface. Even though it's not as accurate as detailed like we have here, Johannes Hevelius in his collection of moon topography called Selenographia. It's not as, but it is the first step of moon topography based
Right.
on what he saw through the telescope he invented. And after that, he that time the Galilean moon is not actually Galilean moon. He called it Medicean moon. Midacean. I'm not mistaken.
What
Because
is the name? Do you know?
he put that name in honor of this I forgot, macam bangsawan lah, bangsawan during that time. So he put that name in honor of that bangsawan. He also distributed his Stella Messenger pamphlet. So those sketchings in Stella Messenger is actually his own. So we can say that Galileo Galilei is not just an astronomer; he is also an artist, which is something that we don't really highlight.
That's
Um,
interesting.
yeah, maybe people who know Galileo Galilei, oh, he's an astronomer, but you don't know he is also an artist.
Yes. Yeah. So that Bangsawan is something like this Bill Gates Foundation or something. Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation sponsoring the Starry
Yeah,
Messenger, something, right?
yeah. So
So
putting
even
his
back then we
the
had this
name
kind
of
of
the
thing.
moons based on his name, because
Yeah.
I have to say that Galileo Galilei, of course lah, his work is very significant during that time, and he wants it to be recognized. So what better way to get your work recognized if it's not showing to popular people, something like that.
Okay. So
So
here,
yes, here we have another role of arts in astronomy is to simulate our place in the universe. So, Johannes Kepler, he came up with law of planetary motion, right? So
yes,
before that came out, he created this visualization of um, planetary orbit, I must say, but in geometrical form. I don't really know in depth about this because you have to explore some mathematical
yeah,
calculations, right? Because yeah, geometry and mathematics they're just
really,
very
yeah,
interrelated.
yes,
But through this piece of art, he came up with the law of planetary motion. It is called the model of nested sphere by Johannes Kepler. I was reading about it and got very confused because it comes with mathematical calculations. But as an artist, it is important for me to know that where did it come from? It is from this visualization of planetary orbit. Just interesting for me. It. I love this one. I love this one because it doesn't have much color. It's just monochromatic, but the lines and the shading makes it very interesting and artistic. It's not just um um apa like lukisan yang tak ada teknik. It's with techniques of contrast,
yeah.
uh, the lines and forms,
So
shapes. It's that.
he didn't actually build this model, right? He just sketched it, or he built it too.
I'm not sure about building though.
Yeah, it looks like he sketched it.
But there is maybe other people built it. But yeah, we can look further into that. So this is how people back then they imagine about their place in the universe, because when you imagine, you have to put it on a piece of paper or whatever you have at that time to sketch it out so you can get a clearer picture. Instead of just imagining it, you put it, you visualize it, so it'll be more effective for these astronomers to calculate. It'll be nice to have visualization.
Yes, certainly. So, and what you're representing here is how art does this visualization as
Yes.
well. That's Van Gogh stars. That's interesting. Now, I think that a lot of the viewers, I think by now, are just eagerly waiting for, a picture, and then the astro artist name is not anyone, but actually Syahirah. Okay, so I think that if we could, let us come to, yeah, let's talk more about you, your work, and what are your inspirations, etc. Because I mean, we can see your inspiration. I think that what you presented just now was like, uh,
Other
is
artists.
your heart. It comes
Mm.
is what you aspire. So we have the answer to one question. What drives Shahira? That's the art representation of astronomy and the night sky, right? So I think we want to come in depth more, tell us more about yourself, like I'll let you go on with this. Is that fine? And they'll slowly answer my questions, our questions perhaps.
Yeah, sure. You can ask question while I'll show my paintings.
Yeah, okay.
So
So
these one.
maybe we can backtrack a little bit and just want to hear about your story, like how did you get started with first astronomy and second art?
I've been get. I love astronomy ever since I was 7, because
Okay.
I grew up in a rural area with beautiful, pristine view of dark sky. It is the last time I checked, it is at Bortle 3, but I'm pretty sure back then it's around Bortle 2. It's in Kelantan and it is called Kampung Sungai Sok. That place is beautiful. It's at the Kaki Bukit, and you can see this beautiful view of the night sky. So the stars are just everywhere, and that kind of drives me to get to know more about what's out there. I'm so curious about what I'm looking at right now. At that time, the curiosity just grew, and I started to dwell into astronomy more. Even though I live in a rural area with limited source of information, books, news about astronomy, I work. I just work hard to um, find those informations from the library, wait for st.my magazine every month to get informations about the night sky, about astronomy. And when st.my released this this series of about mainly about astronomy, I was so excited. I still have the magazine from back from 2003. I still have it. That time I was um 8 years old, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, around 8 years old. Yeah. So I still keep those magazines because so
ST
limited.
dot, yeah, ST.my is a magazine for what is it? Is it what kind of magazine is it, or students?
It's a science magazine.
Is
It comes along with akhbar berita harian, if I'm not mistaken.
oh
Berita harian or utusan.
uh,
It dia selitkan every Wednesday, the third Wednesday of the month. They
uh,
will include this very thin magazine about science, all about science. I think that's a very good effort in educating people about science by just sisipkan that magazine
that's
in newspaper. I really love that, but they don't have it anymore.
yeah. Well, you have. I mean, there probably are other medias nowadays like YouTube, but yeah, I mean, it's a great way. I think yeah. Back then, yeah, we had to go and hide in the library to find sky and telescope. I remember MPPJ library. And I go and find
Yeah.
astronomy magazine, sky and telescope, and then this whole stack sit down there and
I understand the excitement. Even though I already have tons of astronomy books at home right now, still it gives me excitement to go to the library and discover more books about astronomy, astrophysics,
yeah,
cosmology, archaeoastronomy. It is very exciting.
right, yes. So what about the art side? What about the art side? So you like astronomy when you were a kid, and then inspired by the night sky, and then what about the arts?
Well, for the art part, I've been drawing ever since I was 5 years old. But I didn't get into astronomy arts up until I was 25 years old. That is, I didn't know why back then I didn't think about combining those two, astronomy and arts. But when I was 25 years old, I participated in this conference. It's Space Up and Conference. It's called Space Up and Conference. And then I thought to myself, instead of just talking about space and art, why don't I make space arts? So that's where it all began. Just last year, Derek. This
Oh,
all
so
just began last
that's
year.
it, and everything fell into place. Oh, that's interesting. Okay,
Yeah,
so
based on the amount of art I've been producing every day, not every day, every week, I will post at least like one art or progress of of art of space art. But it actually began. It's not even 1 year yet. It's
mhm,
just last year on October, and now I can see that it's everyone is just love arts and astronomy. So by combining it together, people will get interested more in astronomy because um, I'm an artist. I'm not from a science background, so people will think that, oh, if this person not even from science background can get into astronomy, so I guess everyone can get into it. And it is the truth. Everyone can get into astronomy.
Yes, yes, that's right. And I think that that's kind of, in my view, the critical importance of your contribution in this field because, people hear astronomy and then they are scared. It's like, oh,
Hmm.
I failed science, I hate math, but here we are, an artist drawing everything in the sky. I mean, that's Clavius. Yeah, I took photo of
Yep.
that. Taicho,
Oh,
nice, nice images. And you're an artist, and you can do astronomy. It's not a problem. And in fact, the night sky is not for a certain select few. It's for everyone, right?
yeah. It's not limited for astronomers who specifically study astronomy in college or in university.
Yes,
Um, but credit should be given to those astronomers because they're the one who making discoveries. However, people like an artist or a musician or a housewife, uh, a,
yes.
a little kid, they can all love astronomy. They can all learn. We can all benefit from astronomy. Astronomy knowledge benefits everyone.
So, so now that we're talking about your painting, how many paintings you have already within this? Like, so October last year until now is bare. It's like 8, 9, 10 months maybe.
Hmm.
Okay. How many pieces? You're scanning through all this, and I'm seeing that wow, you have so many drawings already. So how many?
More than no, almost 30 paintings I have. Yeah, I have
Wow.
almost, no, more than 30. Yeah, I've been making a lot of paintings because all this time, ever since I started to get very serious into arts, I I keep on looking for things that I love. What do I really want to draw? What do I really want to paint?
Hmm.
Astronomy has been there with me. Draw this, but I didn't notice that. I keep on drawing something else, but I realized that it's temporary. Those for example, I like this show, so I draw the people in that show,
Hmm.
but it's temporary because other shows will come and you will like that show, and then you'll be changing your art style. How can I stick to my own art style, but in the same
See.
time, just be consistent about what I like? So
Okay.
that's why I get into astronomy, astronomical arts. And this painting I contributed to Balai Cerap Kota Baru. This one, it's with Dr. Rowie now,
Ah,
and
Dr.
it's
Ho.
surprisingly um, er, whenever people look through my paintings and they want to buy this one, and I say, I'm sorry, this one is already already have an Abba has an owner, and they're like, oh, and I didn't even sell it.
Okay, but we can see it at the Balai Cerap Kota Baru.
Yes, go to Balai Chirap Kota Baru, you can see that painting. I
Mhm.
also like to play around with different type of acrylics, which is called fluorescent acrylic. So when you paint with fluorescent, it will look like just a regular acrylic paint. But when you turn off the lights and cast UV lights onto the painting, it will glow.
Wow. Yeah. Okay.
It's sort of play of chemistry there.
Yeah. Yes. Fluorescence. Yeah, that's actually very interesting. Yeah, the galaxy seen in your room. Daytime is one looks one way, and at night, but you still have to shine the UV on it. And then once you
Yes.
shine UV, then it'll glow. Yeah, and then it slowly fade. Right. Yeah. Yeah. Interesting.
Yep. But I only have two paintings for that one. Still though, it's very fun. It's a way for me to have fun with my paintings because it doesn't have to be serious and complicated all the time. Sometimes you just gotta have fun, even though it doesn't look that good. But still, as long as you have fun making those
It looks good.
paintings.
I don't know what you're talking about. So, but let me ask you something. Do you actually like take a look at a photo and then paint along the way, and things like that, or do you just like mm, Do you remember it and then you paint it, or something? You have photographic memory or something?
Oh no, I don't have that. I wish I have photographic memory, but I don't have that. So I
Okay.
refer to the pictures that interest me,
Uh,
and think about the style that I want to put for that object, because I don't want it to look like the picture, because we're talking about arts here. So you want to put your own touch in that object. How can I, as an artist, how can I depict this object in my own way, but at the same time still keep true to science, to astronomy? How can I do that? So depends on my creativity and my level of knowledge at that time. So when you look at my paintings, you are looking at the progress as
right.
an artist, and also um, as an astronomical artist. I'm not an astronomer, but I'm an astronomical artist. So you're looking at that journey. You are looking at my growth, the knowledge that I have at that time, the skills that I have at that time. So each paintings have their own stories about the artist and the subject.
Yes, and the guitar.
Yes, I
So,
do play guitar
certainly,
sometimes.
yes. Yeah, I think that that's kind of like always the expression of an artist. You will find someone that likes to draw, also have some music and poetry and everything. Yeah, that's interesting. But can you go to the previous picture, please? Yeah, that one. I really like this one because it shows the different planets, right? And then
Yeah.
you line them up to compare them, like all the different contrasts. I assume some of them are JPL false color images of Europa with it, and
Yes.
there's Jupiter, Saturn, maybe
The
Mars.
Mercury. Wow,
Mer-
you're
Oh,
good. You're good there.
oh,
That's true.
thank you. I think that ask any over passionate astronomer, they'll tell you the same thing. So,
Awesome. I don't. So some people, they would ask me, why is Mercury in that color? I thought that it's this gray and dull. When you look at false color, it'll reveal more interesting things. It reveal the composition of the elements on the
yeah,
planet. So that's why I love to look at the false color image. It's false, but it's not wrong. It has information from that false color. Just like a false colored moon.
yes,
That one is
mineral,
also my favorite.
mineral moon. I think that's what it's.
Yes,
They just
mineral moon. And NASA
boost
has
station.
uh, published this. It's a long time ago. A picture of entirely full colorful moon. It's false colored moon, but it reveals the composition of minerals on the moon, which is very interesting. That one is uh, a lot of people's favorite as well. It's actually my second painting. I am not really satisfied by it. As an artist, I'm also very critical about myself. So whenever I look at this painting, it's not that good. But people like it.
Yes, yes. I
Why?
think that that's kind of the interesting thing about astronomy art. Yeah, and people like it, and that's good. Yeah, I think actually someone asked me to say this is my favorite. Yeah, so
And I was
so
like, really? You like this one? I don't like this one.
yeah, and yeah, but it becomes that kind of like very how do you say subjective
Yeah.
preference art. Yeah, so wow, row of Fucus, Sagittarius A. Okay,
Yeah, these
very
are
color.
more heavy artistic interpretation, because you see here I didn't depict it as clouds, but rather as these vines and lines and spirals, because I want to show the movement. I want to emphasize on the movement of the clouds, like
Right.
the row of Fuji and also Sagittarius A. Because
That's
you
in,
can Sagittarius A is actually the black hole at the center of the Milky Way, but you cannot see the black hole because of the interstellar extinction. However, you can see the
yes.
effect around the black hole, which are the clouds around it. And when I look at it, I can feel the movement. When I look at picture of nebula in galaxies, I don't look at it as something static, because I know that it is moving, but
Yeah,
on a scale of on a universal scale, and in our perspective, it's very slow, and we don't live for long, so we don't get to see the galaxy suddenly move. So
that,
that's why I'm depicting it in my own imagination, using artistic elements to portray the movements of those clouds and galaxies.
that's fascinating actually, and I think it's a very important thing. So you're drawing a connection between actually the physics, really, and the art. So I think that that's totally cool. This one too, inspired by Van Gogh, right?
Yes, I love his painting, the Starry Night, and also Starry Night over the
Mm.
Rhone. That one, uh, he used dots and lines to emphasize movement and also light. So the stars are depicted not just dots, because he doesn't want that. He didn't want that. He didn't want the stars to be just dots. He wants the stars in the painting to be something dominant and contrasting the view below, because the night sky, before the existence of light pollution, it is a dominant presence. So that's what he tried to depict in his paintings.
Yeah, and the those ring effect there, I think, is actually considered pretty accurate for the physics of it. I forget, is it a diffraction or yeah, something like that. Yeah. But I remember that it was actually quite accurate. Probably diffraction, but uh, yeah, I cannot I cannot get it from my out of pull it out of my head. It's too messy.
I'm sorry, Derek. Just now you were kind of apa putus-putus.
Oh, putus. Oh, sorry. No, I just say that it's an accurate representation of a physics effect in the starlight, and I think it's diffraction or
I see.
atmospheric. Yeah,
Oh
probably
yeah, you're right. Yeah, in his painting, right?
yeah, yeah.
Um,
There was an article about it. Yeah.
yeah, you should link that article to me as well, because what I've been
Sure.
reading is the only the basics one. I really want to get into that. The more into that painting. That'll
Okay.
be great.
I'll try to look for it. Yeah. So are there lots of I'm not so sure. How do you showcase your work, by the way? So how do you showcase them and kind of disseminate it out to as many people as possible, as large an audience as possible?
So one of the way is actually through this kind of programs, like ASP is doing every week through talks. So that's how, because most of my paintings are for educational purposes. So people who wants to use my painting for education, they can ask for my permission and they can use it. Another way is through my website, Canvas to Cosmos. So anyone who wants to see my paintings, I can just give them the link. And the newest way is through virtual exhibition.
Ah,
That one I'm just give a sneak peek. Yeah, I will make an announcement about the exhibition in the future.
okay.
So that's another, because you
We
know
look
that
forward looking forward to it. Sorry.
thank you,
Sorry.
Derek. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it as well. I'm so nervous. It will
Yeah.
be my first exhibition,
Wow.
and
Okay.
also uh, through my social medias, Syahirah Stargazer. You can look at my paintings, uh, which I also educate people about the subject itself. So whenever I post a picture of my painting, I will also tell a bit about the science, the astronomy behind this painting. I received comments like, I really like how this painting is not just painting, it is also, I can also gain knowledge from this. And that, because I'm a teacher, having people saying that to me, having my paintings benefit them intellectually, makes me feel very satisfied. There are people who bought my paintings, and they
Mm.
can do that, but I didn't do it officially. I didn't open a store officially. However, the public can contact me, tell me which paintings do you like, and I will quote the price. So that's how I've been doing right now, because to for them to wait for me to open a store, it'll take some time. So some people, they really cannot wait, so they just approach me and say, can I buy this painting?
Yes, yes. Actually, thank you. That leads me to two other questions that I wanted to ask. One is, do you sell your paintings? And number two, you mentioned you're a teacher.
Yes.
So yes,
Yeah,
what do you do? What do you teach actually? And
I teach English at school. That's my major.
oh,
TESOL is my major. But I also teach. Last year, I taught arts.
oh,
So my students had the opportunity to make space arts and learn artistic techniques from me on how to make space arts, and they really like it. I'm glad that whenever I go to the class, when I come out, my baju kurung, or my if that day we have to wear baju corporate, we always get not dirty, but I'll have paint stains on my baju, because
oh,
I got very excited. I also did live paintings in front of my students, which they really like it.
that's cool. Yeah, maybe you should do an online event, like a live painting online event or something. Yeah. So
Yeah,
so
that'll be great.
yes. So do you teach so English TESOLs in teaching English as a second language, right?
Yes.
That do you teach in the high school or the primary school?
Primary school. I
Primary school.
teach primary
Wow.
school, yes.
Okay.
Year one, two, and three. And my students always surprise me because they're very smart. I When I talk to my students, when I teach them, I don't look at them as budak darjah dua, so their level is like this. No, I talk to them like how I want, like how I get very fascinated with astronomy and want to learn more. I know they want to learn more, and I don't limit their knowledge. Whatever they have to know, I will tell them about astronomy, about, even in English class, I integrate like cross curricular elements, like the subject astronomy in my teaching practice, because for me they should know this. And learning the knowledge through the English, through astronomy, through science, through, sometimes I also teach them about light pollution and dark sky awareness. That'll be a very life changing um, learning process for them. And they always, even though they didn't learn from me anymore, because they have to go to a high school. They have yeah, they're already 13 years old. They're not in primary school anymore. They always tell me that they miss me and they want to learn astronomy from me. They really, they get very excited during that class, and they want that they want that excitement when they're learning.
Yes, yes, certainly. And I think that there's a very important aspect that you do here because and this is what actually I really appreciate what the way you do things because you are connecting everything. You're connecting your teaching, you connect it to knowledge, like as in scientific knowledge or the general scientific knowledge, light awareness, dark sky astronomy. You're connecting it to art, and and are really reflecting is the interconnectedness of knowledge. It's an information superhighway in truest sense that everything is all intertwined. And, I think that that's totally awesome. So, what's this art here, Losing Touch? And oh, this is the Milky Way picture that I saw.
Yeah,
Oh, but
it's
but it's connected, right? Like,
yes. This
yes,
one
I
is
see.
actually one of the special ones because it is
Yes,
first dedicated for like pollution and dark sky awareness, and second, it is made of three canvases. Yes, and the significance is that when you remove the two upper part of the canvas, you'll be left with this light dome and the cities, making us unable to see the Milky Way above. While the Milky Way is just there. It's not waiting for you to notice it. It's always be there, but you're the one. I mean, we humans are the one who trapped in this bubble of man-made light. So that's the
yes,
message behind this painting.
yes. Wow, that's good. And actually, the previous photo itself is also like totally fascinating. Like, I can see you're trying to depict the motion of the oceans on the Earth, right? And then
Yes.
kind of like the clouds and everything in the Milky Way galaxy above. Yeah, I can imagine M8 like Good Nebula there, and I know the other one, but yeah, yeah, it's totally cool. I really like it. Very
Thank
dynamic.
you. This one is the biggest painting. This one is actually the
It's,
biggest. Yes.
and it's
It's
called
very
Light.
big. But I
Oh,
wish I can paint bigger paintings. Like when
uh,
I get very ambitious, but sometimes I just need to slow down, and you can work on details. You can work on your skills on small paintings. So yeah, I
so
right now I'm focusing on watercolor and also gouache. Gouache is also type of it's an opaque watercolor.
yes.
Emma asked me a question. Was there
What
any question from your student that you always remember? Wow,
ah,
that's a hard one because my student asked a lot of things. They asked a lot of things, and um, they ask about when can they learn astronomy from me again, because I conducted this action research. It's actually like what teachers do. They sometimes some teachers they conduct action research for them to produce paper based on that research, right? And on my action research is about uh, teaching astronomy through funsterism. That's the title of my research, my actual research. And I taught this student based on this star map, star wheel that I made myself. I made that myself, and my pupils have the opportunity to imagine their own constellations, and which is
hmm,
very interesting. It's a mix of art, astronomy, and also English learning. And they get very they were very excited because at first they were scared because I am known as Cikgu Garang dekat sekolah. They were scared. They got very like very quiet. And then I asked them, why are you so quiet? Because I knew from my little sister that you're very garang. And I was like, no, it's okay. This I'm not going to be garang. Um, when you learn astronomy and you're being good girls, I'm not going to be garang. And then after that, they loosen up and they get very excited and eager to learn. And
yep.
after that, they after we learn, we have finished the process, and then they texted me, when can we learn again, teacher? When can we learn astronomy again? I get very interested in astronomy. And one thing I remember, teacher, thank you for teaching me in that one time astronomy class. I brought my family to dark sky to somewhere darker in Pontian, and we look at the stars together. I'm so excited how I can change the student's life, perspective at the night sky, and also her family. It's amazing. That student
Yeah.
is amazing.
Yeah. And I think that when you are teaching, you always encounter different students, different perspectives, and different viewpoints that actually kind of help ourselves well. Yeah. So I think that the time's almost up. We've gone almost 1.5 hours, and I don't think that I myself, I would like to continue talking, but I think that our program maximum would be about 1.5 hours. So maybe as a pretty much a last statement, okay, would you like to add anything to our talk and discussion today? Or if not, maybe you can also answer a question like, so what are your future aspirations as an astronomy artist in Malaysia?
Well, my future aspirations is actually I want to contribute, not just making arts. I also want to contribute in terms of knowledge in astronomy. What can I do with my knowledge and skills? What can I give to the society based on our local perspective of the night sky? Like you know that every civilizations, every civilizations, they have their own constellations. Every ethnics, they have their own constellations, their view of the night sky, what they represent. I also want to make a collection of constellation illustrations of our Malaysian perspective of the night sky. That'll be like for me. That'll be my future aspiration. I want to contribute something, even though I'm not from a science background, but I can contribute in terms of arts. For me, anything to benefit the astronomers, future generations, because that's what I have always aspired to be. I want to be a teacher and educator, and now I am one. I want to contribute also in astronomy. So everything that I do is for the sake of knowledge and also to educate people.
That is totally awesome. So, um, Shahira, astronomer, artist, inspirationer, dark sky advocate, and combining all the aspects of knowledge as an English teacher. Thank you very much for sharing your insights and in art, in astro art, how art is related to astronomy, about your passion, background. I think that you would inspire a lot of people. I'm inspired now. I'm gonna start to draw something, get my kid to draw something. But again,
Yes.
thank you so much for joining. Yes, and for our audiences out there, thank you for listening in. Okay, if you haven't done this, please like and subscribe. Astronomy Society of Penang. Give us more support so we can bring you more inspirational people like Shahira. So next month we have someone very inspirational too. Okay, and the following month and the following month. But thank you again, Shahira.
Thank you too, Derek
Wonderfully
and
compliment.
Astronomical Society of Penang. Thank you so much for having me tonight. I really enjoy sharing the knowledge, the little that I have with all of you.
Oh, that's a lot, actually. A lot of. That's very good. So, okay.